today we are looking at lesson 16, bubbles 8 through 10. I will walk through bubble 8 with you. You will be doing bubble 9 on your own, and then bubble 10 is optional. As always, the last bubble is always the challenges, and those are optional. All right, so yesterday we learned about mouse controls using conditionals. Okay, so we are going to continue that work today. So bubble 8 has two activities, A and B, and we are going to walk through both of those right now. So we're going to start with the ladybug walk, bubble A. Okay, so this ladybug should only move when the mouse is near the bottom of the screen. So you can see that in the example over here. When they move the mouse near the bottom of the screen, the ladybug starts to move. You are going to use a conditional to make sure the ladybug only moves when the mouse is near the bottom of the screen. Do this. Use an if block to check whether the position of the mouse, world.mouse y, is below a certain point. Okay? Add code using the counter pattern to decrease bug X to make it move. The bug should only move if the mouse pointer is near the bottom of the screen. Okay, cool. So let's see how this runs before we make any changes. So there is my little bug. I always like to have my grid on, but that's just me. You don't need to put on the grid. I just personally like it. All right, and now if I have my mouse, the bug's not doing anything. That's not a good look. So what I want to have happen is I want this bug to move to the left if my mouse is close to the bottom of the screen. And for that, I'm going to need a conditional. So my conditionals are always found in the control, and I am going to grab out my if statement, and I'm going to bring that in. And if my mouse is at the bottom of the screen, what is that going to look like? I need to find a value for y. So I'm going to say if my y, and all I'm doing is looking down here under where it says show grid. If I bring my cursor below y 300, because that line right there is 300. So if my cursor is anywhere in this bottom portion of the screen, I want it to move. So I'm going to start with a math Boolean expression, right? So I'm going to say if greater than, because remember, as you go down, the y gets bigger. So going to world, if the y position of my mouse anywhere on this screen is greater than 300, then what do I want to have happen? I want this ladybug to move. Okay, so I need to make her move. So I need to set up a variable, and that variable should be the name of the ladybug is bug. So bug.x, her x position is going to change. How is it going to change? Bug.x. Now remember, going across the screen this way, my x is getting smaller. So she's going to start here. She's going to move across the screen. My x is getting smaller. So I'm going to have to say minus, let's say make 2. You can make it minus whatever number you like. Awesome. Okay, so now I have a conditional. If my mouse position is greater than, 300, which would be at the bottom of the screen, then the bug x position is going to be minus 2 every time it's down there. Okay, so let's see if this works. Reset, run, and oh, there it goes. So if it's up here, she's not doing anything. If it's here, it doesn't do anything. But the minute I get below 200, she starts to move to the left. Okay? Awesome. All right. So that is that one. So we're going to go ahead and hit finish on that. And we are going to go ahead and hit continue. All right, so now I have a ghost that has to move with my mouse. Huh, interesting. All right, so let's see how to do this. Ghost moving with the mouse. In this level, you will make the ghost move left or right depending on the position of the mouse pointer. In the example shown, if the mouse pointer is on the left, the ghost moves left. The opposite is also true. Do this. Write at least 2 if statements to check the location of the mouse. Make the ghost move in a different direction for each mouse location. Okay. So let me first run the program. Oh, you know what? I had worked on this earlier. There we go. Sorry, I had to reset that. All right, so let me get rid of my instructions. So this is what I currently have. It says wrap the movement lines into conditional. So it already made the movement lines for me. I just have to figure out how I'm going to make this work. So I'm going to put my grid on and I'm going to run this. And literally nothing is happening. Okay. All right. So I'm going to get it. It told me I'm going to need 2 conditionals. So I'm going to grab 2 conditionals and I'm going to bring those in. And it said that these are going to be in the conditional. So I'm just going to grab those and pull those in. But I had to figure out what my if statement is going to be. I want this sprite, if I pull it this way, to move to the left. And if I go this way, I want it to go right. Okay. So how are we going to do that? Again, a conditional is going to require usually a true-false statement, which again is a Boolean statement. So if the ghost position is, if I go this way, my x goes down. So my x is less than. Okay, so if my x is less than, so if my ghost dot x is less than my mouse's X position, so I'm just going to grab this and bring it over, then this should happen. Okay, reset and run. Oops, looks like I have an error. Oh, yeah, that's because that part's not done yet. Okay, so that would be ghost.x. Oops, nope. Sorry, I forgot to pull the variable in. All right, so if that one is less than, then this one should be greater than down here, the opposite. And now I'm going to go with ghost.x. So the position of the ghost x position should be greater than my mouse's position. And if that is a true statement, then my ghost will move to the left. Hopefully this works right. Let's see. All right. Oh, line code. Looks like we left a parameter empty. What did we forget? Okay, let's try it now. All right, something is not working right. So if ghost x, oh, okay, yep, I know what I did. Because x goes this way, that needs to be, all right. So I actually need to reverse these. Take that out, bring this one down, and then do it again for the top. So like this is the kind of the cool thing about coding. Like I've taught this class like forever and I always make these little mistakes. But the cool thing about coding is that when you make a mistake, it's always supposed to be an opportunity to learn. Not necessarily a, oh my God, I suck and I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Because again, like I teach this class and I screw up constantly. So I guess the takeaway is make sure you're learning from your mistakes and not getting discouraged by them. All right, there we go. So now, wherever my cursor is going, my little ghost follows. And then when he catches it, he stops moving. All right. So again, my mistake was my algebra teacher from ninth grade would be very disappointed in me. I always mess up my greater than less than positioning when I'm doing coding, and I couldn't really explain to you why. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and hit continue on that. All right, so bubble number 9 is for you to do all on your own. So what does bubble number 9 want you to do? Well, let's find out. It says this program should only shake the creature when the mouse is pressed and only show directions when the mouse is not pressed. Do this. Change the code so that the creature only shakes when the mouse is being pressed. Change the code so that the directions only show when the user is not pressing the mouse. So I want to make sure that we are on the original version. Alrighty. So I'm going to run this, and so right now I'm not doing anything. Like my hands are here. So the problem is if I'm not touching the mouse, the creature shouldn't be shaking. And when I do touch the mouse, or press the mouse button rather, then those words should then disappear. So it sounds like you either need an if-else statement. Okay, so that again, you're going to find that under control because that is going to be your conditional. So you're going to need an if-else statement to make this work. This is the one that you are doing on your own, ladies and gentlemen. Again, number 10, your challenges are optional. But at this time, you have the rest of the time to work out bubble number 9. As always, if you have any issues or questions, please ask.